Welcome to Eastern High School's Athletics Podcast. Today we join Coach Shep, Coach Graves, and Coach Graham as they recap this past week in Eagle sports. Also sure to entertain, each week we'll hear from an exciting feature Eagle as they discuss the week's upcoming matches and games. And now, here are your hosts, Coach Shep, Coach Graves, and Coach Graham.
All right, welcome into the Eastern Athletics Podcast. Today we are presented by Eastern Plumbing Supply, our primary sponsor. And like I said before when we tried to take this earlier, but Graves got really excited, today is Eastern alum Scott Jackson's birthday. Woo! So we are pretty pumped up here. Eastern Plumbing Supply sponsors us here, and we're going to move on to our recap of the previous week. Oh, by the way, Coach Shep here, Coach Graham, Coach Graves, your regular host, and we have our special guest who will be chiming in, Coach Brock from the Boys Lacrosse team.
Yeah.
Yep, we're going to get into Coach Brock here in a little bit, but we're going to go over the last week. So the first thing we got is the Indoor Track State Championship, okay? We got the Indoor Track State Championship. The boys team finished 6th overall. They were led by a 4x800 relay team of Eli Frazier, Trevor Rolls, Jackson Unger, and Nate Powers that finished 2nd. Sincere Ellison, Jack Braden, Dylan Ellis were in the 4x4 that also scored. The girls team was 4th overall, top Louisville school in the event, which is pretty cool. Senior Raven Payne led the way with a 2nd place in the 200 meters, 3rd in the 400 meter. Aaliyah Allen and Aaron Radizak also had big days, finishing 3rd in their events. The girls were 4x400 relay, also scored well with Raven, Aaliyah, Maggie Jewell, and Abby Wallace carrying the baton. So that is a great end to the indoor track season. We now move to the outdoor track season, which they will be on our next week's preview, which we'll get to here in a second. Girls lacrosse season opener last night, 19-2 win over Collegiate.
Whooped them.
Yep, that's a beatdown of a former coach over there leading the Collegiate.
Why would you leave Eastern and go to Collegiate?
I guess she wanted a head coach opportunity. I don't know.
Get that butt whooped.
Yeah. Well, I also heard it's a bad day over Collegiate. I heard from Mr. Lechner that they lost their court case to get those houses removed. So I guess they're going to be staying the size they are at Collegiate.
Oh, that field, that's right there?
Yeah, it's a dang shame.
Sucks to suck.
Okay, so let's see. We got Riley Huffman in her 11th season as the head coach of the girls lacrosse program. We didn't do a preview on them because they didn't turn it in time, which is pretty standard. But anyways, she returns her entire staff.
She's busy.
Yeah, I know. She returns her entire staff.
What does she do? What does she do?
She adds one more staff member this year, Kevin Foster.
What does she do for?
No, we'll do it. We're good. We're good.
She cuts hair.
Yeah,
it's busy. Hair always grows.
So,
you got to stay on top of it.
Kevin Foster.
I've heard allegedly your hair grows. Mine, yeah.
Kevin Foster added to the coaching staff. Yeah, so the staff looks good. No, I got more. Hold on. They're led by senior captains Lily Johnson, Sophie Jingo, both players to watch.
Sophie's in the house, actually.
Yeah, Lily, Sophie Jingo, our assistant producer here. Lily Johnson.
When I was helping the girls play, when my daughter Maddie Brock played.
Okay. Lily Johnson.
She don't go here?
Is signed.
She graduated already.
Oh, sure, graduated. Gotcha.
Lily Johnson is signed to play D1 lacrosse at Kent State. Sophie's 2nd in scoring amongst the returners. They got big years coming from other senior attackers: Sierra Foreman, Caitlin Pack, Avery Hoover, and Maddie French. The defense is anchored by seniors Sydney Stumpf and McKenna Whalen, who are poised to shut down opposing offenses. And Kaylee Scott looks to increase her role as well. The talented sophomore trio of Kylie Flathers, Callie Cox, and Macy Shipp are all returning starters and contributors. So they're looking to kind of build on last year's successes. Hopefully they can go a little further. Boys lacrosse season opener last night. I was there in attendance. 16-9 win over the 10th ranked Henry Clay Blue Devils.
Avenges last year's loss.
Phil told me they lost to him 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. That feels good then.
So it's a trending upwards. Tate Watt couldn't even beat them. We had to have Ryan Ansert come to the plate.
Sure. We call him the truth.
Okay.
You see him in the hallway, call him the truth.
Okay. Boys lacrosse, they were led by 8 goals from Ryan Ansert.
8 goals?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
David Miller, great goalkeeping from Ben Corbin.
Yes, sir.
And Nick Hegel scored, I believe, his first career goal ever as a defenseman.
That's
so
cool.
he had the long stick and ran all the way down the field and scored the goal.
I like Nick.
Now wait, he's probably had 15 shots on goal.
He's just never scored.
That's his first.
Okay.
I noticed there was a real big safety measure put in last night.
Oh, Phil got that net in.
It was
That was
huge.
solid.
People,
The
fans,
net addition is nice.
fans felt safer, and,
Yeah.
and obviously in JCPS we were all about safety.
So hot take on
Just
that.
don't let the soccer guys see that bending pole.
It protects the concession stand. I'm just gonna tell you, the concession stand last night had like disco lights and like music going, and they were pumping last night. I was keep warm, I
didn't
guess.
see that.
Yeah. JV also won 7-6. They're back in action Friday night. They got Sayer coming to town. We'll talk about that.
Player
in a
to be
second.
named later, Brandon Brock, 4 goals.
We had
In
4
JV
goals.
games.
Oh, in
Wow.
JV. Awesome.
Is that a relation?
My son.
No.
It
Here we
is.
go. Daddy
Sure.
ball in full effect.
He's playing JV ball.
Let's
Can't
go.
be that great.
That's Brandon Brock.
That can't be great, Daddy. ball.
Baseball
He's playing JV.
scrimmages. Bullet East, how'd that
We
go?
already did. Good. Both scrimmages as well. We did Bullet East and Bullet Central. The 6th. Shout out to the really good 6th region of baseball.
You lost to Bullet Central last year.
We did lose Bullet
Okay,
Central.
I was
last
just
year.
making sure.
But thank you for bringing that up. But yes, everything's great. Very excited about next week's regular season debut with the Fighting Eagles.
That's correct. Fighting Chickens.
Fighting Chickens.
Softball scrimmage last night, 15-2 over J-Town. They scored in every inning. Bella Arnold worked 4 innings in the circle, giving up 1 run. Chitwood and McGregor had multiple hits to lead the offense. All 9 starters reached base. That's pretty solid. So good night for them. Next week's events: Boys Lacrosse versus Sayer here on Friday. That's tomorrow. JV at 6, varsity 7:30. Phil, how is Sayer?
Sayer, we beat them pretty handily last year. They're a smaller.
They better or worse than Henry Kelly? So
They got a kid that committed to Robbie Moe. He's a lefty attackman. He's pretty good.
Okay.
It'll be a good challenge.
Okay. Then next week on Wednesday, Boys Lacrosse faces off with Manual. That's always a big rivalry. The Manual Eastern boys and girls lacrosse rivalry is always kind of heated.
Yes, it is.
So that'll be an interesting
And we
game.
had a recent transfer from there. So
That is
it'll be
correct.
even more heated.
Cahill Delaney over here.
Yes.
Softball scrimmage at Collins on Saturday, and then they're at Central Hardin Monday. Central Hardin was 27-10 last year, got upset in the region. Henry County on Tuesday, 22-7. Then Holy Cross on Wednesday, 22-15. So Bear coming out the gate hot with some tough teams to play against. So they're gonna find out what they got real quick with those 3 teams. Baseball home opener on Monday, South Oldham. South Oldham was 10-22 last year. Then at Oldham County on Tuesday, 15-14 last year. And then versus Henry Clay back here at home on Wednesday, 19-9 last year.
Listen, when you spit out records, that means nothing when you play at Eastern because everybody has a good pitcher and we face everybody's good pitcher. So just FYI, fans, don't ever look
the
at
general
records.
consensus is they're going to bring their best against us.
Affirmative.
We have a target on our backs.
Affirmative.
Yeah, on our powder blue backs.
These things.
Girls Lacrosse opens up here on Old Shelbyville Road on Tuesday. They're going to host their rival Manual. They have a nice long history with Manual. Track scrimmage at Ballard next Thursday. That will be the start of their season. All right, that gets us to our special guest. Our special guest is Phil Brock.
Go Brock.
Phil Brock.
I
Phil
have one
Brock.
question.
So when I put in his pay, we had to find Harry Brock.
Yes. Thanks for bringing that
His
up.
first name is Harry. So
That's awesome.
Harry Philip Brock Jr.
Harry Phil.
There's
Is it
Very
Ha- is it-
proper.
is
There's
it-
another Harry
Is
Brock.
it Harold or is it actually Harry?
It's actually Harry. Very strong name.
Very strong.
Here's
name.
2 Harry Brocks.
Okay.
Really? Wait.
What? No, you're a junior.
Oh, I got you. I'm dumb.
That was great. Really? Oh, my God. They don't get the joke. Okay, continue.
All right, so background
Y'all
on
know.
Coach Brock. Give us your background. Tell us about yourself.
Background. I got a question though.
Okay.
Who's Keith Jackson?
Keith Jackson, he was the announcer in the SEC for football.
Okay. All right. Cool. I didn't know that. You played that song. I was like, is he in a
Oh,
band or something?
Gotcha.
All right.
Scott Jackson.
Scott Jackson.
Scott Jackson.
Scott Jackson.
Yeah.
Scott
Yeah.
Jackson owns East End Plumbing Supply. He's
Oh,
our #1 toilet
Gotcha.
He
Donator.
is. That's
thought
why.
you were-
That's our man. He's the best alumni
I-
in Eastern.
Yeah.
You can't be dissing our sponsors
I know it's
by not
Mr.
knowing him.
Jackson. I don't know him by first name.
He's gonna be upset with you. All right.
I know it's
Phil,
Scott.
background, personal. Let's go.
Grew up in Lexington.
Boo.
Lexington boy, I know. Went to UK fan. Bounced around public schools. I just told you earlier, I went to 13 different schools before I graduated high school. Went to UK. Went to the military after I decided I was missing too much class. Had to get some structure. Went to the United States Army. Was in there for 4 years. Got out, went to aviation school, worked for Raytheon, a global contractor, for 10 years. And then came back to, got married, came back to Louisville, started having babies, and ended up coaching.
You personally had babies? That's impressive.
Yeah,
2023.
can do that.
2023. Anything can happen.
How many years you been at Eastern?
Total 6 years, 2 with the girls program, and this will be my 6th year with the boys. My daughter played 18 and 19. They rather wanted me to help out. So
Gotcha. And where were you prior to Eastern?
I was at Christian Academy.
Boo.
Yes, boo. Yeah, 2000. I started.
We're happy to have you.
I started the program in 2006 and ran it for 10 years.
Oh, you started it at Cal. Wow. Okay.
I did. I built it up. Our 2010 we won a Division II state championship, and then 2014 we beat Trinity. Those are my 2 big successes. Over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Good program.
All right. Well, Phil, Mr. Graves here has some
I'm
questions.
the
for
question
you.
guy. Okay, so
Shoot.
we had to listen. Full disclosure, I don't know anything about lacrosse. Okay, so I don't know if any of our questions are about lacrosse because I don't know anything. So the first question, this is something I needed to know.
Footnote.
Huh?
Footnote.
Okay, footnote.
No, this is my footnote.
Oh,
Coach Graves and Coach Brock regularly compete over the participation of the same individuals.
oh yeah.
at
Well,
Eastern
we're in
High
the
School.
same. Well, listen. There's a natural rivalry
I
when
think there's only 2 sports around. It's lacrosse and baseball.
baseball. Of course, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Goes without saying. Now, here's the first question, Coach. What does the term Chad and Brad mean, and why do they call lacrosse players Chad and Brad? They call them Chads and Brads. I don't know why. Kids call them that. What does that mean, and why do they call lacrosse players that?
Maybe because they're. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard that.
Ladies,
do you call
do you
us
know?
Chads and Brads?
They,
Do baseball
say
players?
yes. Why do they call them Chads and Brads?
It's just like a dad name.
It's a dad name?
Dad name.
Like a frat boy.
Frat boy.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
They're frat boys. You know, our AD was a frat boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so, okay. Second.
The only 2 terms I give to lacrosse players is I say it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and Joes.
Oh yeah, no question. 100%. You got to recruit. You got to have good players. Oh,
I'll take all the Chads and Brads. You can have the rest.
we have edited this podcast.
All right, go.
So, okay, sorry. What you get the next one? Yours was the next one, Coach. You put that.
Oh,
in.
by the way,
All right.
Graham's on the show. Sorry.
Yeah,
Graham,
this
go
is-
ahead.
This is not
Hey,
going to be
Graham.
a big Graham episode because
Yeah.
Chef did all the statistics. I'm not really.
Graham, go.
I don't even really need to be here. All
It's
right.
good that you are there.
All right. Enough said. Why not us? Our time. Where does your inspiration come from for your team mottos?
You're a
I let-
team motto guy.
I am.
Okay.
I let the players decide.
Okay.
My first year was our time,
Our time.
and that was James DeWitt, and the boys came up with that.
All right.
Enough said. I didn't like it.
And we
But you
need a-
still went with
But
it.
I let them go with it. We put it on
Right.
the back of the shirt. This year I go, no team mottos. You guys are fired. We don't have one this
No
year.
team.
No
motto.
team
No team
motto this year.
mottos.
That's disappointing. That's why
I
was
did
hoping to
notice
get
that
into.
Henry Clay last night on their shooting shirts or the pregame shirts had family on the back, spelled with
PH. I saw that.
I was
Oh.
wondering what that was.
Well, it's Henry Clay.
Who is lacrosse's biggest rival?
Talking about for us,
Yeah.
it would have to be South Oldham.
South Oldham.
Mhm.
No question. Why?
No question. Just for the past 3 years, we've been vying for 3rd and 4th place.
Okay.
It'll be St. X Trinity.
Head to head.
And 2 years it was us 3rd.
Yeah.
This year we come in 4th because we lost to them last
Okay.
year.
I got you.
But I feel like it's going to turn this year.
Probably the best public school, 2 best public
Two,
schools.
yeah.
Yep.
Coach, next one. It's you. You put that one in.
Yeah, I don't know how to ask that one. So I'm going to ask the next one.
What is that? I don't even understand.
We're going to put that in.
I-
Somebody
no,
put
I
in,
know.
when's your birthday? I'm going to buy you a left hand.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's my motto.
Oh!
What is
Yeah,
that?
okay.
Not motto. When a player, not it's my phrase. When a kid, in lacrosse, and it used to be in baseball.
Never heard it.
I bird right-handed, left-handed when I played. I was a baseball guy.
Okay.
Played center field and shortstop, but I
Yeah,
could
heck yeah,
I
dog.
could bat lefty if we needed a base run. I could go. But in lacrosse, you have to be able to use your right and your left hand. So if you're in a position where you should use your left hand, they use your right hand. I yell out, "When's your birthday, Nick?
I'm going to buy you a left hand.
I'm gonna buy you a left hand."
That makes sense.
How much do you think a left-hand costs?
That makes sense. All right. There's rumors that you love karaoke.
Oh my gosh.
What is your favorite song to sing karaoke?
Hands down, Sweet Caroline. You'll love me.
Sweet care. I like it.
You
Yeah,
should
yeah.
have queued that up. That got it, Shep.
I know what's coming.
I'm sure.
They call me Phil Diamond in Nashville. I took this.
They call him Phil Diamond.
That's a great dad joke. Last one.
All right. So rumors have flown about that you have some specific refs that maybe are not, that you have some beef with. What we're not going to have you name those people. What I want to know is, what are the things in lacrosse that a ref does that drive coaches nuts?
That's a good question.
What is it that bothers you that a ref does to impact a game?
That's a good question.
Great question. That they don't acknowledge you when you have a question.
Kind of like big league. We call it
Yeah,
big league in
Big leaguing you.
in baseball.
And they owe you an explanation. We pay them to be there, right?
They're the highest paid person at the event.
They are.
It's a
If
great
there's not a
point.
cop there.
And they show up for an hour and a half to ref a game, and we put countless hours into coaching, and they show up, and this is their game. That's my when they ref above the game and they don't blend into the game. That's my biggest pet peeve.
It's a valid point. I like that. That's a good answer.
All right, so that brings us to our final segment, which is the Mount Rushmore segment. However, we had a Mount Rushmore prepared. We'll do that, but we have an additional Mount
Going
Rushmore
off
that we're
script.
going to add. We're going to add a.
Going off script.
So the first Mount Rushmore.
Hold on. Have you described Mount Rushmore?
He sort of knows. You just got to pick one. So basically,
Okay.
You only
we're
get
going to
one.
go. We're only doing one. That's why we do it here. So the Mount Rushmore is non-sanctioned sports that Eastern high schools should get started. Like a sport that is not sanctioned that we currently do not have that we should get started at Eastern high school.
But it exists. The sport exists, or
Correct.
Correct.
out there, or
Correct.
just exists.
What should we add?
What should we add?
Add.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Graves, you want to go first again?
I would like to start, but it might be sanctioned. I would like to start a bass fishing team so I can go on bass tournaments
Good
during the school day
Good.
with the kids.
There's only one bass fishing team.
For educational
There's
purposes.
only one
of course.
bass fishing team in JCPS. Who is it?
Fairdale.
Hell yeah.
Has to be
Fairdale.
That's
Yeah,
an easy
that's
one. Has to
definitely
be
Fairdale.
Fairdale.
Definitely Fairdale.
Yeah,
All
that's a
right.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
I'm going bass fishing. Is it sanctioned?
It is sanctioned, but the problem is
That's crap. We have
JCPS
bass fishing sanctioned, but
J-
not lacrosse?
Yeah.
JCPS has a big thing with the insurance. I don't know how Fairdale got around it, but Fairdale did it. So, but because you have to have somebody have it's the only sport that requires a vehicle.
Yeah.
And
you
a
need-
boat.
yeah.
Like
I mean the boat is being the
boat is-
vehicle.
oh,
Like
okay.
you have to have it insured. You see what I'm saying? Like so, I don't think Fairdale owns a boat per se, but I think it's
please.
like.
all those kids got boats.
But I'm saying like the school doesn't own a boat.
Oh.
Like I own football helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like you know what I'm saying. All right, who's next?
Phil.
Do you have one?
You don't have one. I'll go
Ultimate
next.
Frisbee.
Ultimate
Let's
Frisbee.
go.
That's a good
I'm
one.
a big fan of Ultimate Frisbee. That,
Yeah.
like
I
those
love-
diving
I like
Ultimate
Ultimate.
Frisbee catches.
Those
You know,
are
only
sick.
if our
I played in college.
Phil,
See those-
Phil
see
is
those
demonstrating crooked pinky
Diving,
finger.
both of them broken. Look at that, Coach. This one don't go all the way up.
Graham, you want to go?
Oh, all right. I got to pick one.
Would you like me to go?
No. Yeah, go ahead and go. And
You
then
knew
Okay,
what was coming,
so I
Graham,
know
and you're not
I
prepared.
know one. So I know one
It's good that you're here,
that
Greg.
is going on currently that is a club here at Eastern High School. I've witnessed it. Disc golf.
Disc
There
golf.
is a disc golf
Yeah.
club that's been moving around campus. They got a basket, and they
Get
even
them both.
And that's
It's a
very
Frisbee
cheap
club.
too. It's a very cheap sport too that you
Yeah.
can anybody can play.
In the woods. Yeah.
In woods?
In the woods. You
Oh,
played
in the
disc
woods,
golf in
yeah.
the woods. Yeah.
The courses.
All right, what you got?
All right, I am going to go with men's volleyball. Men's volleyball. If they would have had men's volleyball when I was in high school, I definitely would have played. Graves can roll his eyes, but that's
It's indoor. He's afraid of the elements.
I play volleyball. I love volleyball, so that's what I
Just a
would
big
go
volleyball fan. Really big
All
fan.
right.
Big volleyball fan.
All
What's
right,
our second one?
so we're going to add an additional Mount Rushmore segment
That is odd they don't have
inspired
men's
by
volleyball.
recent events at Eastern High
Yeah, not
School.
here.
We are going to add the Mount Rushmore of Eastern Athletic staff who would win Eastern Athletic staff assassin water gun. So of the Eastern Athletic staff, coaches and AD staff, who would win our, if we were to hypothetically have a non-inspired by any group that I know of, I don't even know this goes on, water gun assassins
Colonel
competition, who would win it?
Colonel Orange.
Eastern Athletics?
Oh, you said staff.
It's an athletics podcast.
Oh,
You can't just pick,
us?
you can't just pick the JRT. No, like all
Any
coaches.
coach
Okay.
or
Yeah.
assistant.
Coach or assistant are in. So next,
This is a good question. I'm going to go
you want
with...
somebody else to go first?
Yes, go first.
Graham, go first. He went last.
I'm gonna go with our bowling coach. I think he wins. I think he wins.
He's
Like,
a
I don't-
vet. He's a vet.
He's a vet.
Another vet, too.
Like we
Put some respect on it.
yeah. How many of us like
Coach
know the
B.
bowling alleys
Coach
like that?
B. Yeah.
Coach B.
There's
What
I'm gonna
about-
put my name in the hat.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
I'm
you're,
low profile,
you're all-
high speed, low drag. I was in the military. I can shoot some stuff.
high speed.
Just saying.
High speed, low drag. Is that what he just said?
Shout out to Coach B who bowled in the U.S. Open this weekend or something.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he wore his Eastern
Eastern
he
bowling.
He really
and
loves
bowled-
that Eastern
bowled
sweatshirt. He
in the
loved it. He
Eastern
loved
bowling
every
event.
minute of it. Let me think.
Listen, I like to
There's a picture.
I consider myself I consider myself an avid hunter.
Trying to
I
think of
feel
some-
like I would stalk very well.
You're gonna name yourself as well.
My wife usually kicks me out of the bed and out of the house, so I would have some time by myself to do this.
Do you have one of those sniper grass suits?
A ghillie suit? Of
Ghillie
course I
suit?
do. Of course I do.
Okay.
Well, mine's a turkey.
Well, then I'm gonna go with Coach Gray.
There it is.
Maybe we'll
I-
team
he's-
up.
I gotta go myself.
I can't even. I made this and I couldn't even come.
Cream
up
Cove one.
trying to think of one. I don't have one off the top of my head. Maybe Coach Lechner, because he's probably never at anything. And
In this podcast.
That's all
or
right.
the fact that he's in water. Like, how do you shoot
That's a
somebody who
valid point.
swims?
That's another
Like,
valid
what if they're
point.
swimming?
It's another valid
Did
point.
you actually hit them, or are they
We
just
should
wet
have
from
came
swimming?
up with the worst. We should have came up with the worst ones.
Oh, the worst ones.
The worst ones. I'm going.
You already did.
I'm going-
Waylon.
You would not participate.
Waylon's foot
This is
spit. This
stupid.
is stupid. I'm not doing it.
Shout out to my son Lincoln Graves, who wanted me to give him a shout out on the podcast.
Oh, congratulations.
He is
What
one
up,
of our
Lincoln?
He listens. every
Loyal
week.
listener.
Loyal listener.
All right. Well,
All right.
another great podcast. Thank you.
At least we had fun.
Thank you, Harry, for coming out for our podcast
Harry.
today.
You're welcome.
I'm calling
And
you Harry. from
Once
now on.
again, happy birthday, Scott Jackson.